Good morning and welcome to the DX Today AI Daily Brief for Sunday, June 14th, 2026. I'm your anchor. Today, Anthropic goes dark on its newest models after a federal order, OpenAI is hit with a multi-state subpoena, and SpaceX sketches out data centers in orbit. Here's what's happening in AI. First, a stunning federal intervention.
Anthropic has disabled access to its two most powerful AI models, Fable 5 and Mythos 5, for every customer worldwide, including United States citizens. The company says it received an export control directive from the U.S. Commerce Department on Friday, citing national security, ordering it to block any foreign national from accessing the models. To comply, Anthropic pulled the plug entirely. The move sent shockwaves through Europe and India, where founders and policymakers called it a wake-up call about how dependent the world has become on a handful of American AI labs. Anthropic describes Mythos as its most capable system yet.
Next, mounting legal pressure.
OpenAI is now facing an investigation from a coalition of state attorneys general. The company was served with a subpoena from New York's Attorney General on Friday, seeking documents on its advertising, user engagement, model sycophancy, handling of health data, and its treatment of minors and seniors. OpenAI says it intends to engage constructively and points to new safeguards that direct vulnerable users to real-world resources. The subpoena lands just weeks after Florida's Attorney General sued OpenAI and Chief Executive Sam Altman, and days after the company filed confidentially to go public.
Now AI reaches for orbit.
SpaceX has revealed plans for what it calls AI-1, a first-generation orbital data center satellite. Elon Musk says the company aims to put compute in space, targeting 1 gigawatt of orbital processing power by late 2027, and eventually as many as 1 million AI satellites. The reveal comes alongside the company's blockbuster public debut, which briefly made Musk the world's first trillionaire. Not everyone is cheering, though. Astronomers warn that orbital data centers could interfere with their observations of the night sky.
Turning to consumer tech.
Apple has unveiled the next generation of Apple Intelligence, headlined by a major overhaul called Siri AI. At its developer conference, the company previewed a smarter, more conversational assistant designed to handle multi-step tasks across your apps. It's the upgrade Wall Street has been waiting on for over a year, after Apple's earlier AI ambitions stumbled. Analysts say the real test now begins, as Apple races to prove it can compete with rivals who got their assistants into users' hands much earlier.
A twist in the Anthropic saga.
Amazon chief executive Andy Jassy was reportedly among the tech leaders who raised concerns about Anthropic's most advanced AI models before the U.S. government's crackdown. Amazon, which is one of Anthropic's largest investors, says governments often seek its input on security risks. The detail complicates an already tangled story, given Amazon's deep financial stake in the very company now locked out of selling its flagship models abroad. Neither company has fully detailed what concerns were raised or when.
Staying with national security.
The Pentagon has shifted at least two-thirds of its AI workload away from Anthropic and toward rivals, after a months-long dispute over how its models could be used. The Defense Department had pushed Anthropic to permit unrestricted lawful uses, reportedly including mass surveillance and autonomous weapons without human oversight. Chief Executive Dario Amodei declined. By June, the department had formalized expanded contracts with OpenAI, Google, and Microsoft instead. A court earlier blocked an attempt to formally blacklist Anthropic on First Amendment grounds.
Now the global build-out.
South Korean internet giant Naver is building gigawatt-scale AI factories in partnership with chipmaker NVIDIA. The plan, part of a sweeping set of Korean deals, would stand up hyperscale data centers starting from Naver's existing infrastructure, with the first AI factory targeted for 2027. NVIDIA also struck agreements with SK Hynix and Doosan, as Korea pushes to build sovereign AI capacity at home. It's the latest sign that the race for AI infrastructure has gone fully international.
To the funding desk.
IT, operations platform. NinjaOne has closed more than $400 million in secondary funding, pushing its valuation to $12.3 billion. The company, which helps businesses manage and secure their devices, says it now plans to expand into Australia and New Zealand. The deal underscores how investor appetite for enterprise software with a credible AI story remains red hot, even as some corners of the market cool. NinjaOne joins a wave of infrastructure companies riding the AI operations boom.
A quieter product update.
Google has rolled out a new integration that lets its Gemini Assistant manage your Google business profile with a single tap. The feature introduces what Google calls business notebooks, which surface proactive alerts and suggestions for small business owners, like prompts to respond to reviews or update hours. It's a small but telling move, weaving generative AI directly into the everyday tools that millions of local businesses already use, rather than locking it behind a separate app.
Now, a deal in the making.
Cyclone Incorporated has announced an agreement in principle to acquire an AI robotics company. The New York-based firm says the proposed deal would bring physical AI and robotics capabilities in-house, though it cautioned that the agreement is still preliminary and subject to definitive terms. It's a modest transaction by the standards of this week's mega rounds, but it reflects a broader rush as companies of every size scramble to bolt robotics and automation onto their AI ambitions.
An eye-catching valuation.
An AI startup founded by alumni of Chinese tech giant Huawei has reached a $100 million valuation, drawing investor attention thanks to its founder's pedigree. The company is part of a growing crop of ventures launched by engineers who cut their teeth at major technology firms before striking out on their own. Backers are betting that deep technical experience, paired with the current frenzy of AI capital, can turn small teams into serious players remarkably fast.
And finally, a giant swing.
A new startup led by Amazon founder Jeff Bezos called Prometheus has raised $12 billion to build what it describes as an artificial general engineer. The company, valued at $41 billion, aims to use AI to design physical things, from computer chips and jet engines to new drugs. Backers include JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs. It's one of the largest funding rounds in the field's history, and a striking bet that AI's next frontier is not just words on a screen, but the physical world itself.
And that's your DX Today AI Daily Brief for Sunday, June 14th. 12 stories, 12 companies, all from the last 24 hours. I'm your anchor. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you tomorrow.